It's October, Windows 10 goes away, and Windows 11 is what we're left with. So we've been doing a number of videos on how to use DISM, D-I-S-M, Microsoft's built-in utility, on how to deploy images. In this last one, we're going to talk about APPX packages and how you can add and subtract them from an offline WIM file using DISM. Coming up next.
Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Okay, so APPX packages. Quick review, what the heck are they? Well, traditionally, if you want to uninstall or install a new piece of software, like say Microsoft Office or Adobe Creative Suite or whatever the heck you want, or the latest video game, anything, you would run either an exe that does a command that installs it and modifies your operating system with all the correct DLLs and exes everywhere they're supposed to go, modifies the registry, that sort of thing, or an MSI file that's a package made that process to have an exe that runs code to do that, to install the program. It uses your MSI file, which is a little more modular, a little more separated than just an exe, kind of more purpose built for that sort of thing. And that was the way things were done for years. And then now Microsoft is slowly starting to move us towards the AppX package model. Problem with the MSI model and the exe model is that that program has to use a lot of admin rights to talk to vital system areas. It's not as good for security, nor is it as clean. It tends to replace DLLs that maybe other systems will use. So there's conflict sometimes between applications. The idea is to make it more portable and more modular. Now, I don't want to go too much detail on this because this is, after all, a video focusing on how to use DISM to add and subtract them to an image. But I just want to give a little background on what it is. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take an offline WIM file, and we're going to mount it, and then we're going to be using the DISM command, and we're going to use the DISM command again to remove AppX packages that we don't want, get rid of some of that bloatware. And then we're going to see how that process works. And then we're also going to turn right around so we can add them back in, just to kind of demonstrate that on camera. That's coming up next. Okay, as you can see here, I'm mounting the image. See, it's 99% now. I started it off camera because it takes a while, good 10 minutes to mount. Here's the command I ran: DISM/mount-wim/wim file. And that's the path to our WIM file off a network drive. Index 1, you can have multiple indexes on here. Almost always 1. I generally don't mess with this. And then mounter. So this is an important key point. What it does when it mounts the image is it's actually taking that WIM file and extracting it somewhere. The downside of this whole process is you have to have space. So my F drive is 100 gigs large right now, so that it can accommodate the, I don't know, 80 gig, 40, 50, 80 gig, something like that sized WIM file that I have. So if you look over here and we go to our F drive now, you'll see there's a mount folder, and you see a bunch of files extracted there. So we're going to go back to our my drive here. And then next, what we're going to do, now that we have it mounted, we're going to go ahead and see if we can list our AppX packages. We're going to get a list here. DISM, image, put our image on the F mount. Remember, we're pointing to where we mounted it, not the WIM file. Get provisioned AppX packages. There we go. Yeah, Microsoft Teams. Let's see if we can get rid of Teams. Now, Teams always annoys me. It comes up when I'm not looking for it, all that good stuff. Don't think I have that. Yeah, okay. I got that in my clipboard here. So next we're going to try and run remove. So DISM image F mount remove provisioned app X AppX package name. We use quotes here. And there's that MS Teams pasted. Copied earlier, pasted it now. There we go. It's running and doing its thing. So now, if any of you are getting this error, this is kind of a key error and a key point to understand about working with AppX packages in an offline file. The problem we have here is a fundamental approach. And that's why I kind of want to run through this real quick just so you can get the errors and get the idea. If you get this error, you're kind of boned with your image. You have to start over. The problem is you can't mess with AppX packages once the system you're capturing has been logged into. So what you have to do is you have to capture in your WIM file only after a sysprep, like immediately after sysprep, before anybody logs in. When it's an offline system and you sysprepped it and it's shut down, before anybody logs in, then you can install and add or remove AppX packages. So once if you see this error and you're stuck, yeah, you're stuck. You got to go back, unmount your WIM file, basically delete your WIM file, go back to your reference system that you created it from, and you have to run sysprep. Now, I'm not going to get into sysprep today. We did a whole nother video on how to do that. You generally want to sysprep before you capture a WIM file for this very reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get an image that's been sysprepped already, and we're going to do this again just so you can see the difference. Okay, next day I've rebuilt our WIM file. I did a sysprep, and then I captured right at the sysprep. And now we can get into mounting the image. I already mounted the image, actually already to the F mount point, so we can kind of pick it right where we left off. So once the image is mounted, now we need to go get our AppX package that we're going to install. We previously, in a different video, run sysprep and removed a bunch of packages because they were causing sysprep to fail. We're going to put them in the back. Here we have Windows Calculator, and this is the apps Microsoft Store. We searched for it, found it. I want to click that download button, but you can't. Thanks, Microsoft. That's so easy because you can, but it gives you an exe file, which is of absolutely no value to you whatsoever if you want to apply this to a DISM, using DISM to an offline WIM file, which is probably the only time you'd want to use a downloaded file. Otherwise, you just use the Windows Store, right? So going to this little link here, store.rg-adguard.net. These guys are great for getting us our WIM files here. So what you do is, not WIM files, I'm sorry, AppX packages. So I paste the URL that we had over here. So take this URL, you copy it, you stick over here, you paste it in here, you click the little go button, and get a bunch of these links. Takes a few minutes sometimes. And what you're looking for, you have all the prerequisites that you need. You probably don't need to download these. Most of the time, they're already there. If not, you can, install one of those at a time if need be. Here is our calculator, and we're looking for the right one. Don't use block map or AppX bundle. We're looking for MSI bundle, and here is the latest date, 4/9. So we're going to download this one. And of course, Microsoft is trying to warn us that, this could be insecure. Yes, we know what it is. Yeah, we're going to keep this. Keep anyway. And it's finally going. Not really helpful for Microsoft part. It doesn't actually do anything secure. It just warns that downloaded files could have viruses. It's like, yeah, we know that. Oh, look at this. It finished downloading. Now I have to say keep yet again. Please, Microsoft, we get the dang point. Stop harassing us. Okay, so now we have our file there. We're going to go to PowerShell, and we're going to attempt to run it. Okay, now we have to extract it before we can run it. Can't run it yet. So I downloaded it here. Right-click on our MSIX bundle. We get no options. We have to go to show more options, and then we can use our 7-zip. We're going to extract it here, and that's what I did. That's what all these files here are. So what I did is I went down and I found there's our calculator, there's the version, x86. I'm a lazy typer, so I just copied the text in there, right? And then I went over here, and then I created this command. So here's our DISM /image. There's our mount point. And then add provision AppX package, and then package path. In our package path, I pasted what I just copied. All right, I've got x86-64 platform, so put what you ever have that's relevant, and then MSIX, and then I ran it, and then it installed successfully. So if you look up there, it says operation completed successfully. Success. So now we are able to install calc back into the WIM file that we have. But we're not quite done. Now we have to unmount and save the WIM file. Okay, so we're going to mount it or dismount it. There's our command, dismount -Windows image, and there's our path and -save to make sure we save all of our changes. And yep, still cooking. This will be another 10 minutes. Okay, that finally finished successfully. Hooray. Um, here we go. So if we could look at our... Okay, so that's pretty much the whole process. It is a lot of steps. I'm going to recap that really quick right now. So not shown on camera was the sys prepping step, which is vital. You cannot deal with AppX packages in a non-sys prepped WIM file. So if you're a regular running operating system and you try and capture it, you can, and you can deploy from it and all, but you can't change the AppX packages. So you have to do sys prep. Now I did that off camera. I used the generalize option, I used shutdown, and I used OOBE. Those are critical options because it will leave the system off, won't boot up and start generalizing, all that stuff. You don't want that. Then you can capture it. I found that when I was sys prepping, it also bombs on certain AppX packages being installed to uninstall them from a particular publisher. If you look at the logs, you'll see which one it is. But the interesting thing is, if I try to just uninstall all the AppX packages, which what I did in my previous sys prep video, Windows 11 blows up now. The previous version of Windows 11, this didn't happen, but now it'll launch and then the screen will blank out and then come back out and blank out and come back out. That's because Explorer is crashing and starting all over again. So you want to limit it now where you're only removing exactly the packages that you want. You can't be lazy like you used to. But so just keep an eye out for that because that's not shown on camera here. But that's pretty much it, folks. I hope that was helpful to anyone working with AppX packages and their WIM files. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.